Oh, did you not see it?
I saw part of it, but I'll look at it after her.
I just didn't give off. But that was interesting.
We're returning back at 6:44. Do I have a motion to return back?
Council, or
At 6:44. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Seconded by, motion made by Mario Morones, second by Ms. Marissa Jimenez, all in favor? 3-0. Motion passes to return back. Now do I have a motion on
Yes, Mayor, I have a motion. I'd like to make a motion to approve the proposed settlement of the arbitration in accordance with the terms discussed in executive session.
do I have a second? Motion made by Ms. Flores, second by Mr. Morones. All in favor? Motion passes 3-0.
And Mayor,
Yes.
if we could note for the record.
If we could note for the record that Councilman Cantu recused himself from this.
Okay, moving on. Moving on to, oh, yes, and Jacob left, I'm sorry, thank you, Mario. Jacob left at 6:33 p.m.
Who's Jacob?
Jake, I don't know why I call him Jake. Mr. Councilperson member. Okay, moving on to old business, consideration and action to approve meeting minutes for the regular council meeting on December 11th, 2025.
Mayor, I make a motion to approve the meeting minutes for the regular council meeting on December 11th, 2025.
Okay.
I second.
Motion made by Ms. Jimenez, second by Mr. Morones. All in favor? Motion passes 4-0. 4-4, 0 against. Okay, now we have a presentation and discussion on C Street. Ms. City Manager, interim.
Mayor and council, as far as the C Street update, David, our Public Works Director, and myself have been working with Mr. De La Garza from Triune. Where we are with that is he has made contact with Mr. Wagner from Phelps. They are in discussion, and Phelps has agreed that once we have a construction schedule, they will, they have agreed to move their lines. We are in communication with Frontier as well. Frontier did respond to emails this afternoon, and they basically stated the same thing. Once construction is planned out and scheduled, they will schedule some time to move their lines as well. So I spoke with you earlier this afternoon, Mayor. We will meet with Mr. De La Garza sometime next week to see when we can get the bidding process moved forward so that those construction plans can come forward to you all.
And I also want an update next week.
Okay.
Please. Thank you. Moving on to new business. Consideration and action to approve proclamation 2026-006 Martin Luther King Jr. Day. Ms. Councilmember Flores.
Proclamation number 2026-006, Martin Luther King Jr. Day. Whereas Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. was a nationally recognized leader of the American Civil Rights Movement, whose advocacy for nonviolence, equality, and justice helped bring about lasting social change. And whereas Dr. King's leadership and vision promoted peaceful dialogue and civic responsibility, and strengthen the democratic ideals of this nation. And whereas the observance of Martin Luther King Jr. Day provides an opportunity for reflection, education, and service in honor of Dr. King's legacy. And whereas the city of Floresville is committed to promoting unity, respect, and equal opportunity for all residents.
Now therefore, I, Gloria Morales Cantu, Mayor of the City of Floresville, Texas, hereby proclaim January the 19th, 2026 as Martin Luther King Jr. Day. On this day. Proclaim this 8th day of January. Thank you. Do I have any citizens comment on that? No? Okay, can I have a motion to pass?
Mayor, I'll make a motion for consideration and action to approve the proclamation 2026-006, Martin Luther King Jr. Day.
I have a second.
I'll second.
Motion made by Councilwoman Flores, second by Councilman Cantu. All in favor? Motion passes 4-4, 0 against. Item B, consideration and action to approve proclamation 2026-007, National Law Enforcement Appreciation Day. And I just want to say thank you to our police officers for all the work they do. And the proclamation reads as Proclamation 2026-007, National Enforcement Appreciation Day. Whereas National Law Enforcement Appreciation Day was founded by multiple organizations in 2015 to recognize law enforcement officers across the country for the daily sacrifice they make in service to their communities. And whereas the leading organizations Concerns of Police Survivors provides a national support network for families and co-workers who have lost a loved one in the line of duty, and promotes positive recognition of officers who perform good work every day. And whereas law enforcement officers of every rank assignment have chosen a profession that places their lives on the line daily in service to their communities, answering a call to public service that is demanding and often underappreciated. And whereas there are more than 900 law enforcement officers in the United States, and in 2024, more than 128 officers died in the line of duty. Over 79,000 were assaulted while on duty, and an average of 184 officers died by suicide each year. And whereas we recognize and appreciate the extraordinary efforts and sacrifices made by law enforcement officers and their family members to protect our schools, workplaces, roadways, and homes. Now therefore, I, Gloria Morales Cantu, Mayor of the City of Floresville, do hereby proclaim January the 8th, 2026 as National Law Enforcement Appreciation Day. So, I would like a motion to pass. To move on. Do I have a motion?
Mayor, I'll go ahead and make a motion for consideration and action to approve proclamation 2026-007, National Law Enforcement Appreciation Day.
All in favor?
I second.
All in favor?
I said I second.
Motion was made by Ms. Flores, second by Mr. Morales. All in favor was 4-0, 4-0, yes. So right now I would like the officers to come up to the front so we can take a picture. While we present this to.
1, 2, 3.
Okay, moving on to, thank you. Moving on to item 5E, consideration and possible action to approve issuing an RFQ for the Floresville Sports Complex field renovations and to authorize the interim city manager to negotiate on behalf of the city.
I put this on the agenda. There was a, what do you call it, a tournament, just a couple of weeks ago. And I went out there to that field and they just don't look right. You know, I think the city paid up, I guess, around $3 million or something like that. And it needs a lot of work. And I'd like to see what it will take to kind of get it up to date. And then keeping also including the Little League and maybe the 4A, also the city council maybe getting a workshop later on if it's approved. And to see what working all together and also the community. But I came to see if there was any money on the finance. And for years we collect, I think $1, mostly $1 from our water bill for years and years, and I came in and asked the finance director we had any kind of money to do what we put on that, or what I put on that, on the agenda, is to try to level the field because, you know, people came, I think this field has potential to bring tournaments, big tournaments like it was this past 2 weeks ago. I think we had like 40 teams. And people came from everywhere, from Corpus, from the Valley, Houston, and a lot of areas. And I saw them eating at their local. I saw them eating at the restaurants, and everybody was having fun. They bought the Santa Claus and the Grinch, and they bought that movie star that made the movie The Rookie. He was out there walking around. It was real nice, but when it came down to seeing the fields were, I walked the fields and they had holes in the infield, and I'm afraid that some of the youth and some of the kids are gonna get hurt. I think it could have been raked or fixed up a little bit better, but they're really in bad shape, and I don't know what it would take to try to, I don't know, Monica, I think at one time they were trying to do something with it, and I don't know, I guess somebody must have, just not Dr. Ball, but I mean, just didn't pursue it no more. But my thing is to try to put grass in it, and I think there's enough money to try to do a major improvement on this park, and trying to get everybody in the community. You know, if it's approved later on, we can just go out and look to see what it would take, because I see the fields. I was going to go to Kennedy and try to see how, you know, how they keep it up. They have real pretty fields, nice fields, and people come, and the first thing they look at is, you know, everything was, to me, the trash was, I don't want to talk bad about it, but I mean, we need a lot of improvement on there, and maybe to have someone there while there was a tournament going on, and try to bring different people. I know that there was a gentleman that said that he wanted to make tournaments here, but that he had called a few times up here, he couldn't get in contact or something like that. But I just want to see if we can do something to update this ballpark. And I know that the money will come from that dollar for the parks. And I think also maybe for the 4B, I think they will contribute some of that money too, like, I don't know what, but talking to them, we could probably work with a little more money, but just to see what we can do, what it would take, and that's why I put it on here, and, you know, I appreciate what we can do as a team, and I know that out there on some blogs that I see, you know, saying that we don't do anything, it's the field of this and the field of that, but it takes, you know, we've had council people here, and I think there were even those blogs, you know, saying that we don't, you know, they have the opportunity to also do it and have not done nothing. But as a council whole, we can do a lot of things. One person can't do everything. And with the help of everybody, we can do a lot of things for the city of Floresville. So, I mean, it's on here on the agenda. I don't know if y'all looked at it, but I think Monica can, our assistant city manager can maybe help us out and see if it's approved, you know. But if anybody has any, the Little League or the people out there, the citizens, I'm willing to hear everything out, but I saw it and it's got a lot of potential, but it just doesn't look right. So let's see if we can bring it up to date and keep it up going, like the Kennedy and San Antonio surrounding areas. Thank you.
Thank you. Do I have any comments from the council? Or Jacob, go ahead. Go ahead, Lucy.
Yes, yeah, this is a great point, but our interim city manager has already been notified, and she's on it. I believe she's gotten with the parks director to try to infiltrate the fields and try to make them look in better shape. She's doing a really good job of it. There needs to be some cleanup, and obviously outside in the parking lot, although there's not supposed to be parking there, you know, the interim city manager has been notified by some council members and by the public, and she's on it. So I think it's imperative that we get this fixed and presentable to the public with all of the festivities and tournaments that are going to be coming to Floresville in the near future.
Yeah, 'cause I don't know when she was notified or whatever, but you know, this tournament was a month before, and it was not in any kind of form or shape done. So I don't know when she was.
This was recent.
Yeah, because I put this on the agenda 3 weeks ago. Once that tournament passed, the next day. So I mean, that's fine that she's working on it, but I know that back in June, someone else had a tournament, and they took a lot of bad pictures too, and they turned it into, I don't know, to the city or to the 4A or somewhere, and they showed me plenty of pictures. Back in June, I think back in June, there was a big tournament, and they were in bad shape, so I mean, if she was working on it, that's fine, but the thing is, you know, I see these blogs that, I will talk to so-and-so, and maybe we'll get it going. I never heard of it, and it's, you know, and it's just nice to keep us all in the loop to see, or updates of what's going on in the city, so, thank you.
Thank you. Okay, do I have any citizens comment on that?
Mayor, I have a comment.
Oh, okay, go ahead.
Oh, thank you, Mayor. So just for historical purposes, Councilman Morones, we weren't on council at the time, but in 2018, 2019, we had a professional that would come out and do the fields. Then the city could not continue to afford this professional. Council voted not to continue his services. He did great jobs. I mean, he had awards for parks that he would do, and he wasn't from here, but he would come out and service our fields. We couldn't maintain it. We were able to at the time with city funds and the EDC. The EDC gave money towards it, but then the city could not continue with that professional type of service. Then we had COVID, then we were furloughed, then we had a very small crew that would maintain the fields, and that's part of the issue. It's the maintenance. So we can bring someone in to get it up to par, but then it's the maintenance after that where we see the decline in the fields. And so, you know, maybe when we look at budget again this summer, or when the council looks at budget again, we make sure we can continue with a professional service to come in and maintain the fields, as well as working with our parks department, because they did make some improvements. They bought the correct equipment that they needed. They learned they couldn't cross-contaminate and so forth with the fields. And so I think, you know, our Parks Department has done the best they could with what they have. And can we get them serviced better? Sure. Can we bring in a professional? Absolutely. Can we afford it? I don't know. Can we initially do it? Possibly, and then we have to make sure we plan out for maintenance of the fields. And so I think it's a great idea, Councilman, but at the time, council had decided to do away with that service because of our fiduciary situation. Mayor?
I think it's a good idea, Councilman Morones. I agree with it. I think RFQ is, that's how we get started to find out what we're looking at as far as for cost-wise. If it's something we cannot afford right now, I think it's imperative that we have the quote up front so that we can budget for it during budget season. So, yeah, I think it's important. Floresville's a small town. We don't have very much, especially for our children to do. So that's a big area, and it's important, it's vital. So, I think it's a great idea, but again, even if we could not afford it, I would at least like to know pricing so that we can at least try to budget for it. And at least jumpstart it until maintenance can kind of get a grasp on it. That's always an option.
Go ahead, Mr. Jake.
Yes, is the director of, fields and maintenance there?
So the person.
Is he in attendance at the meeting?
No, and the
David?
person, no, the person that oversees these fields is actually your event center manager.
Okay, well, I was just gonna ask, is there a short-term, temporary fix that the city can do in the meantime? Because we have upcoming tournaments, and I understand that this is probably gonna be really expensive come budget season. So what can the city do,
So
now,
the
to
short-term.
get something short-term?
The short-term fix to fixing the problem is just basically filling your holes. That's it.
Right.
And when Councilman Morones came in, and him and I spoke about this in length, we talked about all of this, and I explained to him, just like Councilwoman Jimenez just did, when we originally prepared or built these fields, we did have a professional service, coming in to maintain these fields. Over the years, the city could not afford it anymore. We went away from that. We were fortunate enough that we did have someone on staff for a period of time that knew how to maintain these fields. Unfortunately, we did lose that staff, and we have not been able to find someone to fill that role that's able to have a complete understanding of it. But as I did explain, this is something that we need to also work with Little League, being that they use those fields for a large amount for the majority of the year. And we do have a season that's getting ready to start with them. So it's going to be, to call it, patchwork for now, until we get, if this gets approved, until we get an RFQ back, determine the pricing, and see if whether or not this is something we can move forward with. If we're wanting to actually have a professional come in, we did have somebody, I believe it was, and the finance director, I believe, saw these numbers as well. In the fall, we had a few people come out and look at the fields to see what it would cost us to just get the fields in a condition, the proper mowing, the proper edging, the proper condition for baseball fields. And it was something that was ridiculous in price, unfortunately. So we did not move forward at that time because, again, Little League was in place with a fall ball season. We only had about a month break before the next season was going to start. So that's what we need to also take into consideration so that we can make Little League aware too and tell them, we're going to work on these fields. So this is our plan, and you need to work with us as well.
Okay, well, thank you, and just to comment back on that, once we fix this, I really want to stay on top of this. Floresville in itself is becoming a destination for a lot of these big tournaments. A lot of promoters are really wanting to utilize our city to host their events, and that boosts our economy. That helps us. The hotel motel tax, and among many other things, that helps us. So once this issue is resolved, I would really like to maintain and keep it upkept.
Just so everybody is aware, this is not a one-time fix. This is a daily
Right.
maintenance that occurs out at these fields that you have to stay on top of.
Yep.
Yeah.
Thank you.
To me, it's just to get the numbers out there, what it's gonna take. And to me, the thing is, there's $201,000 in that $1. Okay? There's plenty that can be done so a child will not fall in that hole or do whatever. I'm not saying that we're gonna start now. I wanna see if we can get some numbers and then tell the little league or whatever. So in October, we're gonna start fixing all these fields. You know, somebody can get hurt in those fields. If y'all wanna walk out there, I hadn't been out there, so I couldn't say, but my thing is, with $201,000, you can do plenty. You can plant some seeds, you can buy some seeds, whatever it takes. Now, I think in the average, we probably get about 31,000 out of that $1 a year. We can keep up there. I'm determined to go to Kennedy and look what it takes for them to keep those fields beautiful. There's some beautiful fields out there. Whatever it takes, I'm not saying that we can't do it, we can't do it. We can do something with 201,000. And I understand people will probably say, well, we gotta be fixing the streets. Well, this is just for parks itself. So if we have $1, I mean, with $100,000, you can do plenty. And then to me, we have 2 employees out there. I'm not saying they're not working or doing anything, but it doesn't show that we have 2 employees out there taking care of those fields in any kind of short shape or form. So my thing is, I just want numbers. We can bring it back. It's not that we're voting on it, but there is plenty of money to do something to keep our kids safe and to fix this park. Thank you.
Thank you. Do I have any citizens' comments on this? It would be a good idea to have a workshop on this, if everybody's in agreement, so we can discuss like the contracts that we have as well, you know, who's gonna, you know, because we have a lot of people that use the field, like Monica, the city intern, Ms. Monica says, you know, that they like, you know, they use it a lot. So, even fix those fields.
I mean, people would come out here. It was so beautiful with 40, 50 teams they had out there on a tournament. And then we couldn't even have it raked in the morning. You know, get a little tractor to rake it for the kids to play the next following week. I mean, there's something. I mean, something we can do, buy a little tractor, buy something. I mean, I'm pretty sure we have it, but we have to go out there and blow the trash, pick up the trash. I mean, people want to come out here.
Go ahead.
I have a comment. So
You can come up here
okay.
and see, please.
So I have a comment. So I understand, you know, we're dealing with money and things of that nature. I just want to go back when I was back in school. Floresville baseball park back in the back. When Coach Velasquez was here, and we were building that field back there, we had players, everybody coming together to build that baseball field back there. That baseball field came to pass because everybody as coaches and players coming together to fix it. And you say the Little League comes out there and they use that, well, we can use them as volunteers because they can put into this park to be able to help assist, get it back in the least running condition. So we can use those. It's more about coming to the community. We always look at, well, the city can do this, the city can do that. Well, our community should be coming together to be able to help us put this together instead of always looking for the money and getting together. If we're putting together, if our community is coming together to be able to build it, then I feel like that we will take better care of the things that we have. And that's just all I have to say.
Thank you.
And that's what I said in the beginning, that you know, getting the 4-H together, the Little League together, the community together, we can make this field work. That's all I'm saying. It just take a ride down there and look at those fields. Outdated.
Mayor, I'll make a motion for consideration and possible action to approve issuing an RFQ for the Floresville Sports Complex field renovations and to authorize the interim city manager to negotiate on behalf of the city.
Motion made by Ms. Councilwoman Flores. Do I have a
I'll second.
second by Ms. Councilwoman Jimenez? All in favor? 3-0, motion passes 3-4-0. Oh, sorry, 4-0, sorry, 4-0, 4-4, 0 against. Okay, moving on to item F, consideration and action to approve RFP for the audiovisual system upgrade at the Floresville Event Center.
So, the 4A board and the 4A attorney has put this RFP together. As you all are aware, the audio and visual system at the event center is outdated and is in need of being upgraded. So, they are requesting that we put this out, so that we can look into upgrading that system.
Have any comments?
Mayor, I have a question.
Yes, go ahead.
Ms. Elise, was this, RFQ, sent to our IT department for review?
No, it was not. What we did do is the one that the city secretary did for this area in here, we did have that, the 4A attorney look at that so that he could kind of follow what we did here. The individuals that did this area as well, we have had them visit the event center. We've actually had several different different audio and visual people visit the event center in the past. I know our 4A president is here as well. They had people go out there in the past as well. Everything that they have provided to us, as far as pricing, kept coming in over the amount. So that's when I advised them, you need to put this out to bid. So what they're putting in this is basically coming off of the information that was being provided to them of what is needed inside the building. But this has not been reviewed by our IT department.
Ms. Elise, can you tell me, I know in the past I heard that there possibly was a need for a sound engineer to go out there and look so that we know exactly what we need. Was that taken into account, or is this separate from that, or do we plan to get a sound engineer?
So that was taken into an account whenever the 4A president was visiting with the different companies, and that was included in the proposals that were presented to them. So that was included in all of this.
Do I have any questions or comments from our council? From our citizens? And this is a request for a proposal, RFP?
Yes.
Mayor, are you ready for a motion? I make a motion to approve the RFP for the audio-visual system upgrade at the Floresville Event Center.
Motion made by Councilwoman Jimenez, second by Councilman Morones. Do I have any, all in favor? 5-0, motion passes 5-4-0 against. Item G. Consideration and action to approve resolution 2026-003, a resolution of the City Council of the City of Floresville, Texas, approving a policy of the City Council of the City of Floresville establishing rules and parameters for the use of City Council line item funds and the city purchase of tables, seats for the City Council for local and regional events, and establishing an effective date.
Council, at the last meeting, you asked that I make some revisions, and I have actually brought with me tonight some edits to this proposed resolution and policy for your consideration. I'm happy to distribute them.
If Miss Lee, if you have an email document of this, could you send it to my email real quick?
Can't, let me see if I, oh, I think it's meant to be, yeah, I can.
Thank you.
Mayor, if you'd like, I can sort of walk through the edits that I proposed. So, there are a couple of things. First of all, there was just some language in here that talked about using the word clear, and I'm suggesting to you that we change that to valid. So there's a couple places where it says clear governmental objective. I suggest that we call it a valid governmental objective. Clear, instead of clear public benefit, a valid public benefit. That's just in the resolution. Then moving back to the actual policy, I made some changes just so that it would take effect today. And then in the purpose, changing the word clear public purpose to valid public purpose. And I'm making that suggestion just because I don't think clear has the same sort of legal context that valid does. And I made the same suggestion on the policy statement under prohibited use of public funds, that item 2, that such charitable contributions and sponsorships, that they have a valid public purpose. When you move down to item section 3C on the travel and training expenditures, there's some, section 7 of the policy deals with the same issue, and there's sort of a little bit of conflict in the way that those two items are worded, and so I was trying to clarify that just a bit for you. So in section 3C, about travel and training expenditures, it requires that it relate to the duties of the city council member / mayor. And then in section 2, I added that the purpose, and previously it said that the purpose and expected benefits of attendance are documented prior to travel. But in the latter part of the policy, it says they have to be approved by city council in advance. And so I went ahead and added that up here, assuming that that's what council wants. And then here it says that receipts and proof of attendance are submitted in accordance with the city procedures. And the next section, in section 4, Councilman Jimenez, well, I had suggested that we add this language last time, but suggested that 2 council members approve these expenses after the city manager or the finance director have reviewed them. And Councilman Jimenez suggested that it be by all of city council, so that's what that changes. So that just says that city council will be approving them. In section 5, under definitions, I just added the valid public purpose here, so that gives meaning to these various different places where the valid public purpose is included in your policy. And so I made a similar change in section 6, making predominant a valid public purpose, because you have a definition there. And then finally, in section 7, on travel, training, lodging, meals, or entertainment, I just sort of reorganized that a bit so that now it reads that basically any public funds for travel, training, lodging, meals, or entertainment must directly relate to the duties of city council member. Such purpose and benefit must be documented in advance and approved by the city council at a public meeting. And then I moved this language around a little bit. So then it would say, in addition to prior approval by the city council, receipts and proof of attendance are submitted in accordance with this policy and city procedures. I've taken out in accordance with the city's employee policies, because usually those don't dovetail very well for you as council members. And then I've moved down the language that the member of the city council is solely responsible for all expenses of any guests that accompany the council member on any travel, including event registration, meals, entertainment, and any travel-related expenses. And then I moved that other section about if a council member fails to attend an event after approval by the city council and expenditures of public funds shall result in the member of the city council member not being eligible for reimbursement. Like if you've asked for reimbursement, then you wouldn't be eligible if you didn't attend, or that if the city incurred the expense, that the city council member would need to reimburse the city for the expended public funds. And those are my suggestions to you.
How about if, like if there's a death in the family or something and they can't, can you add that, you know, unless it's an emergency or, you know, because if something, you never know what's gonna happen, you know, you have something planned and then there's a death in the family or somebody's in the hospital. I mean, with those conditions, I think they should get a refund.
I think, Mayor, you make a good point. I think that it would be, we could add language here that says unless council has excused their inability for, you know, obviously for good reason. If you'd like me to add that.
I mean, if they're in the hospital and they can't.
Right. Something beyond their control.
Something beyond, exactly. Exactly. Something like that.
So at the end of that last addition, I would just add, unless city council excuses the absence for reasons beyond the individual's control.
So do we table this until it's all fixed and then you bring it back on the next meeting?
It's up to you. I think you can approve it as it is with these edits. I think it's sufficiently clear. But it's also, if it's something you would like to rethink, and you could put it on the next meeting, sure. Paul.
It's up to the council whether they decide. Okay, like that?
Okay, with the correction.
Are you good with it like that, Jake?
What did y'all say? Whoever was talking, is there kind of a census on kind of where we're going, or what, did someone make a motion?
We've not made a motion.
You couldn't hear it.
Yeah.
He couldn't hear.
Yeah, I couldn't hear.
Yeah.
Hear me?
Yeah.
It was very, very blanked out.
Oh, I'm sorry. So you're able to table it if you would like and
Okay.
review it. You could do that at the next meeting, or you could pass it as edited here and revised here at the meeting. Sure, Paul.
Gotcha. Okay. So we made one minimal edit, correct? Or you're adding if you can't make it under a circumstance,
Yes, sir.
essentially, for a excusable circumstance.
That's correct.
Okay. Yeah, I'm good with that. Yeah, I'm good with moving it forward for sure.
And I'm sorry, Ms. Ream, did we let you finish the rest? Did we kind of stop there?
No, I think I've covered all the edits that I
Okay.
made to the policy, and I know you've looked at this, I think, for a few meetings.
Yes.
But still, I mean, we do want to get it right.
Okay. So do I have a motion?
Mayor, I have a comment.
Go ahead.
If I may. Ms. Ream, just because the mayor has made statements before about receiving information the day of, if you can please provide us edits prior to. We don't like to make decisions on information that's presented to us immediately before the item. Specifically speaking for myself, I have to take the information and edit it so I'm able to read it because of the type of dyslexia I have. So it takes me a minute. I appreciate you explaining those edits, but electronic versions work perfect for me, but the mayor likes to have them printed in hand before meetings.
Absolutely, and my apologies. Unfortunately, the holiday schedule and several things sort of made that a challenge this time.
But I appreciate you going through them so I could listen as you were reading them off. So thank you for that.
Thank you, Ms. So is that a motion?
Mayor, I make a motion to accept the edits as proposed today. for resolution 2026-003.
I second.
Okay, do I have any citizens' comments? All in favor? Motion passes 5-4-0 against. Okay, moving on to, executive session. The council will meet in closed session pursuant to Texas Government Code, section 551.074, personal matters, and section 551.071 to consult with legal counsel on the following matters. City manager hiring process. Do I have a motion to go to executive session?
I make a motion to go to executive session.
I'll second.
Motion made by Councilperson Morones at 7:03. Second by Ms. Flores. All in favor? Motion passes 5-0.